Yes people, welcome back to another YouTube video on my channel. This video is going to be a little bit different, man. More like a sit down kind of talking to you guys on a more personal and deeper level rather than like a vlog as such. I'm still going to be doing the vlogs, that's still going to be happening. If you're new around here, if you don't know what I do on this channel, so I actually recently quit my job probably about a month ago now. And now I've kind of took this kind of online remote work thing up. I've always wanted financial, time and location freedom. I've never really wanted to stick to one exact location or be in one place. I'm recording this on my balcony in Cyprus, so if you can hear the road, it's literally just down there. So I thought, yeah, let me just come out to the balcony to record it rather than going in there and sitting in the dark. Like, there's a reason that I moved to this country, because of the sun. That was the main reason anyway, so why not just sit outside on the balcony in the sun. So yeah, as you can see from the title, in today's video I'm just going to talk about the things I've learned within the first month of living abroad. So I come to Cyprus literally a month ago yesterday. I come at the start of June. I'm recording this now at the start of July, so it's been about a month. So the video, I've got 3 things that I want to dive into and talk about, which I think will relate to you guys, because you're probably watching this video now because you want to move abroad, you want this kind of location freedom, you want to get out of the UK just like I did. So yeah, you wanted to kind of escape the matrix as such, and just, yeah, like live on your own terms. Don't have to worry about a boss. You can do what you want, you can work when you want. Like now I'm recording this video, I'll probably edit it maybe after, then I can go to the beach, which is like 10 minutes down the road. I couldn't do that back in the UK, and if I did, I would have had to drive 2 hours away. It would have been cold, wet, and yeah, like the vibes were just not going to be the one. For those of you that don't kind of know my story, just in a nutshell, I've briefly just mentioned on it then, but I actually was a firefighter for 2 years. I wanted a kind of change of heart, a change of career as such. I didn't want to be tied down to one location. I didn't want like to spend the next 30 years in one place basically. I knew there was more to life, I knew there was more out there, I was more creative. For those of you that don't know, sorry, like I create content, I'm on TikTok, Instagram. If you want to follow me on those, the link's going to be in the description. But yeah, I wanted to have more freedom in my life, and I didn't want to be stuck somewhere, especially in the fire service. I could have easily been there for like, I don't know, 30 years. So yeah, I took a break from that. Those of you that are watching this probably already know my story, but for those that are new, that's just my little like background story. I've come to Cyprus now because I'm actually doing some photography and stuff out here. So if you're in Cyprus, you're in Ayia Napa, then come say hello, man. I've got loads of people coming from TikTok anyway, coming up to me, which is good. I'm probably sweating right now in this, but it is warm, man. It's probably like 32 degrees. But the thing is, in Cyprus especially, it's like really dry heat. So it's 32, it would say 32 on your phone or whatever, but reality it's more like 36, 37. So yeah, warm, but we're not complaining. But yeah, the main aim of this video is just to give you guys a rundown through my experiences, what I've learned within the last 4 weeks, and hopefully you can relate, or hopefully you've got a trip coming up and you're thinking, oh my god, am I stressing, am I doing this? Trust me, I was stressing, don't get me wrong, I was stressing a lot. But yeah, watch the video and you'll be able to pick up on points which I know that we're going to help you. So number one, first thing is that do not waste time planning. Like, what I mean by that is, before I come out to Cyprus, I tell you, I shit you not, I was on my phone, I was on my computer, on my laptop, and I was literally planning. I remember I planned like the first week exactly how it was going to go, like the time I was going to go to the gym, the time I was going to do this, the time I was going to do that. And from experience, don't plan. Have a rough plan, have a rough idea where you're going to go, but ultimately just don't plan it too much, because what you'll find is you'll get somewhere and things will crop up, or something will happen which you don't expect to happen. So yeah, and a very good example of this is a real example, and shit you not, me and my friend who I've come out here with, we had accommodation booked about 3 or 4 months ago now, so we knew where we were going, we knew what it was going to look like. We planned like on the table and stuff, we planned what we was going to do, how our workflow was going to be, everything we had planned in our head. We get here day 1 and the guy tells us our accommodation's not ready yet, so we get put in some other like shit accommodation, which just wasn't what we wanted. And we wanted somewhere nice because we wanted to be productive, we wanted to use the time wisely, we didn't want to be in like a shithole as such. We wanted it to be nice, because for me, my working environment is very important. If I'm just working in like some gaff which is messy and all that stuff, it makes my mind messy. Whereas I'm in somewhere clean, nice, refreshed, then my ideas come, I get more creative, and ultimately my work gets better as well. So yeah, man, like day 1, literally day 1, boom, plans out the window, just like that. So that's a real and that's a good example of why you shouldn't really plan that much. Now of course I don't mean don't plan anything at all. Like I just said, you want somewhere, you want a rough idea obviously of where you're going, But in terms of like gym and all this other stuff, man, all the little things which you probably do back in the UK, but you think you're going to do it when you get to whatever location you're going to, then it's hard. Like, it's not easy. People think you can just plan it and it's just going to go smoothly. But from experience in the last 4 weeks, it does not go smoothly. Some things actually work out better, but some things actually work out better. Like, to be honest, that first room that we booked, I'm kind of happy where I am now. If I was back in the other room, I don't think I would have liked it because it was too close to the bars and stuff. So I feel like the music would have like kept me up at night and all that shit. So it actually works out better, which is kind of good if you look at it in hindsight. Right, so number 2, the next thing which I've learned and definitely picked up on over the last 4 weeks is that it's so important to put yourself in the environment that you want to grow in. Now, what do I mean by that? So, like, for example, in the UK, me personally, I was surrounded by people who, don't get me wrong, they were happy, they were doing their life, they were going about their day to day, but it wasn't people who I wanted to be around as such. It wasn't people who were like-minded like me. Probably maybe 1 in 100 people that I knew or heard of were like-minded like me, and that is actually like really, really important, that you kind of put yourself in a situation where there's people that are like you. For example, if you are a fitness influencer, if, I don't know, if you're into the gym, you're a personal trainer, is being in the UK good for you? Is being in Pure Gym good for you? I don't know. Or is it better, for example, going into Dubai, where the creative industry and the fitness industry is much more broader, moving yourself to Dubai and surrounding yourself with people that are like-minded like you? Because one thing I've definitely learned is that, like, the people that I'm around now are definitely people that I want to be around. If you've got new ideas, you do this, you do that, you ask these questions, you don't feel stupid, or you don't feel like they're not interested, or they're just hearing for the sake of it. Like, there's people, when you surround yourself in the right environment and put yourself in these places, you'll get the right conversations and you'll bounce off each other and you'll be a lot more productive with your time. Like, right now, I'm having conversations with people who are talking about 5-10 years ahead, whereas back in the UK, people were kind of talking about, I don't know, whether they were going to go for a curry on a Friday night, just little things like that. And it's just like, I don't want to be having the small talk, really. I want to be, personally, I want to be around people who are talking like bigger goals, who want to work for themselves and kind of don't rely on a company or things like that. So being in Ayia Napa, being in Cyprus has surrounded me with definitely them type of people, because if you don't know already, as you probably already know, that I do create content. So for me, in a place like this, I'm creating content now 6 or 7, no, I'm doing it 7 days a week. I'm doing photography 7 days a week, I'm making videos 7 days a week, and TikToks. So I've gone from being in the fire service where maybe I was doing it 2 days a week, maybe 3, but I also had another job. Whereas now I work for myself completely. I can do it 7 days a week, and not only am I doing it more often than I want, like more than I was in the UK, I'm also getting more and more experience. So every day I'm learning. Like, if I look back to like 3 months ago when I had a camera, I didn't really know as much as what I know now. Whereas now I just pick it up, boom, 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 settings are done. I know exactly what to do. I know how to do the lighting. I know how to do everything now. And that's just from doing it every single day. But I would never have done this if I didn't put myself in this environment right here. Don't know, I feel like in the UK a lot of people will kind of demotivate you and almost put you down as such if you've got a new idea. I had it when I started doing my YouTube videos. Not really necessarily people putting me down, but like, you have a few people laugh at you and things like that. So this message is to anyone out there who wants to try something new. Get out your comfort zone, man. Get out your comfort zone. Try something new and just don't let what other people say have an effect on what you do. If you want to do something, then why shouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? Like, make sure it's a calculated risk. I would never tell anyone to just quit their job and move abroad. Don't get me wrong, some people do that and it works out. And you'll always find a way to make it work. A little bit of a sidetrack here, but that's another thing I'm a big believer in. You'll always find a way to make it work. When you get in that fight or flight situation, you're either going to sink or swim, do you know what I mean? So put yourself in this situation, get yourself uncomfortable. You will meet new people. Like, you have conversations every day. Just go and ask people, talk to people, do you know what I mean? So, like, they say your network is your net worth, and to be honest, it's actually kind of true. And it's funny as well, like, you'll find the people that were laughing you at the start, or kind of putting hate comments on your videos or whatever, they'll still be watching your stuff months or years down the line. Like, don't get me wrong, there's probably people watching this now who have put comments on my stuff, or people watching this now who, when I started, were laughing at me. And it's just good now because I know they're still watching and they don't say anything anymore. Like, they won't say anything to me, they won't text me, they won't do anything, because they've kind of seen it that something's working and like, oh fuck, shit. Like, he's actually doing what he said he was going to do. And that's very important. Not a lot of people can do that. Like, a lot of people say they want to do things, and not a lot of people actually put the action in and just do it. Now, the third and last thing that I want to talk about, over the last 4 weeks, I've definitely learned the importance of doing it for you. Now, what do I mean by this? Like, it kind of relates back to the previous point, but you've got to do it for you. No one's going to come and pick you up and say, do this, do that, do that. Book you. I'm going to book your flight. I'm going to put your fucking resignation in your job. Do you know what I mean? No one's going to do it. Also, on the flip side to that is, don't let other people get into your head, because that is very, like, I've seen it firsthand and I've experienced it firsthand. But luckily, I feel like, oh, I've just kicked my camera a little bit. Luckily, I'm quite switched on with that. So I've got to the point now where before I used to like worry about what people thought of me, or if I was vlogging out in public, I'd be doing this, and I'd have people look at me and stuff, and I used to be like get really anxious and nervous. Whereas now, like, that doesn't faze me at all, because it's very important that you do it for you. Them like down the road, like, I don't know, Jerry down the road looking at me vlogging, doesn't really care about me. Like, he's probably watching me vlogging like this, and he's like, after 2 minutes, he's already thinking like, oh, what's my wife cooking for dinner, or did I feed the kids this morning? Do you know what I mean? Like, no one really cares what you do. We just, as humans, we just think everybody's looking at us and caring about what we do, when realistically, nobody actually cares. I'm not sitting here saying it's easy, like, taking the leap. I keep saying taking the leap, because that's how I see it, but taking the leap's not easy, man. You've got to definitely have some courage. You've got to have a bit of self-belief. In fact, you need loads of self-belief, and if you don't believe in yourself, then who's going to believe in you? Do you know what I mean? Following on from that as well, like, you might let some people down, and that's the reality of it. Like, there's doing something for you, but then there's also letting other people down. For example, your parents might think, why is he doing that? Why is he quitting? I know my fucking mum definitely did. Why is he quitting this job? Why is he doing this? But they don't see what you see, do you know what I mean? They're just doing it to keep you safe. They don't see the vision, they don't see what you see in this generation. Especially this is one for your parents anyway, so you might let them down, but if you believe in yourself, and I always say, like, I don't want to be 80 years old thinking, what if I just done that? What if I just didn't let him down the road who commented on my video put me off doing what I wanted to do? Like, where would I be now? Do you know what I mean? Would I be in this office? Like, would I be in this office now waiting for my pension? Or would I be, I don't know, wherever you want to be in Dubai? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, don't let other people get in your head. You might let some people down, but that's just the reality. You can't please everybody, do you know what I mean? And your parents, of course, they've got unconditional love for you anyway, so they're not going to disown you or anything like that. But at first, it probably won't make sense to them, but later on down the line, it definitely will, do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think I've talked about this a little bit, but just like, the last message I want to put across is just like, getting out your comfort zone, man. Like, get out your comfort zone. Don't kind of worry what other people are going to say about you. The best things that have happened to me is when I've stepped outside my comfort zone. Like, there's never a perfect time, do you know what I mean? Like, there's never going to be a perfect time. People always say, oh, I'll do this when I've saved this amount of money, or I'll do this when I've bought this, or do you know what I mean? Like, there's never, especially for content creators as well, like, you can record, you can edit off a phone. Like, you don't need a laptop, you don't need a Mac, you don't need a Canon, you don't need a Sony. Like, you can just do it off your phone. So yeah, man, take action and just put yourself in uncomfortable situations, man, because that's where you grow, and that is what I've learned anyway. But yeah, just a quick one really. That is the end of the video, guys. If you are new around here, then make sure you subscribe. I'm just going to keep kind of rolling out the content every week or so now. Vlogs, day in the lives, things like this, sitting down, what I've learned, because this kind of video is more so for people that are travelling all over the world, not necessarily coming to Cyprus or care about me as such. But I hope if you've watched this, you understand and you can relate to my experiences and what's going on in my head. You're probably similar, you've probably got the same mindset as me, which is good. If you guys want to connect with me, then make sure you follow my Instagram and my TikTok. I'll leave it in the description. Anything else, just drop in the comments. Any questions you've got, let me know, man. But I've actually got to go out now because I've got a shoot tonight at a rooftop party, which is going to be good. So yeah, man, it's been a good video. I hope you guys have learned something. I hope you picked up from my experiences and you've written down some notes and stuff. But yeah, like, the main message I want to get across is, like, don't let anybody put you off from doing what you want to do. And it's never going to go as smooth as what you think. I've only been doing this now for a month, let alone if I've been doing it for 6 months, you know what I mean? So yeah, you meet people along the way, and that's the beauty of it, I suppose. But yeah, my throat's hurting, it's really hot right now. So I'm just going to wrap this video up now. If you have enjoyed, like, subscribe and comment, and yeah man, I'll see you guys on the next one.